After Carson was born, it was supposed to be the happiest time of our lives. But for me, it was...
Honestly, guys, this is the same video from the last video, guys. But it's just part 2.
Hardest. I felt overwhelmed, lost in a sea of emotions I couldn't navigate. The exhaustion was hard, but it wasn't just physical. It was like I was drowning in my own mind, struggling to keep my head above water. Taking care of Carson turned out to be a 24/7 job with no help.
No way, the mom almost slept, bro.
And what made it worse was that you weren't supportive. You'd yell at me and accuse me of being lazy.
Bro, you should have done this a long time ago. Break up with him and never see him again.
When I tried to explain to you how I felt, you completely dismissed everything. And then you just walked off, leaving me crying all alone. I knew what I had was postpartum depression, but I also knew I could never talk to you about it. The only time I tried is the day that you walked out on us. I begged you to try to understand what I was going through, but right when I needed you most, you left us, throwing me into a deeper depression. Eventually, I decided to get help. And my psychiatrist confirmed what I thought all along. I had
Bro, I'm tired of hearing this psychiatrist word. What is a psychiatrist?
Postpartum depression. She prescribed me medication to help me, even though the last thing I wanted was to take pills. I knew something was off in my brain, so I decided to take the doctor's advice. So you see, therapy and meds were the only
why is the father pissed like that? He doesn't feel bad.
thing that helped me during that dark time. I wasn't on the pills long, but they helped me when I needed them. So I have seen firsthand how medicine, when prescribed by a doctor, can be helpful. Which is why I was advocating for Carson to see a psychiatrist and try therapy. Same way I've been advocating for us to try therapy to improve our relationship as co-parents.
You're wrong. There's no such thing as postpartum depression. It's just another big lie perpetrated by Big Pharma to push more pills, just like ADHD. Therapy and medication never solve anything. Not for you, not for us, not for Carson. It's the video games that are the cause of all of his problems.
No, Jerry. Just because you don't understand someone's issue doesn't mean they don't have one. Even his psychiatrist said that playing video games helps...
I do not want to hear the word psychiatrist ever again. Not medications. Look, I promise you, Taylor, I will make sure that he never takes any more pills, even if I have to take it to court. Hey, Jerry, I brought you... Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I just got a lot on my mind, but I just saw Gabriel got the valedictorian. You must be so proud.
Oh, I am. And it's crazy to think how far he's come.
What do you mean? Well, all throughout middle school, he was really struggling bad. Really bad. He was a C student at best.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to believe. I mean, considering how well he's doing now.
Yeah, well, we took the time to figure out what was wrong with him, what was going on, why was he failing all the grades. And it turned out he had ADHD. sense to you? Well, I didn't, to be honest. For a while, I was kind of in denial about mental issues, you know. I was getting on Gabriel's case all the time. But after talking to several psychiatrists and other parents who had kids with similar situations, it all started making sense.
Like what?
Well, for starters, Gabe was always a very bright kid. From an early age, from the time he was very little, so I didn't really understand why his grades were slipping so much. Well, it turns out that he brute forced his way through school until he couldn't anymore. Even if he didn't study or did his homework at the last minute, he was always smart enough to ace everything. You know, he was naturally gifted. But of course, that couldn't last forever. For a while, I blamed his bad grades on him being on the computer playing video games all the time. But actually, it turns out that that is his way to cope with the situation he's going through. He explained to me that when he's playing video games, he can actually laser focus on something and stop his brain from racing with all these various thoughts all the time.
So you're saying that video games actually helped him?
In a way, yes. And when the psychiatrist told me that, I thought she was crazy. Of course, I told him that video games should be regulated. But she explained to me that just taking away all the video games and everything all together without really solving the root of the problem wasn't going to solve anything. In fact, that was actually hurting my son even more by doing so. Especially since he's actually playing video games to cope with the problem he's going through. You know what's interesting? Growing up, I was taught to tough out anything I was going through, and when I was able to understand and accept that, I was then really able to help my son much better. And now he's just performing better than ever.
Carson, can we talk?
Go away! I don't want another one of your lectures.
Please I just want to apologize. I was wrong for what I did. Here. Can I have your video games back? And, I got you this. How did you... I talked to the psychiatrist. I told him what happened. He made an exception. Why are you doing all this? Because I realized that I need to start listening and stop judging. I'm sorry that I wasn't more supportive of you and your feelings. But from here on out.
This is gonna be it for today. I am MNC, and I am out. Although I'm gonna be playing Bed Wars today, guys.